Free, free, free Palestine. Free, free Palestine. Free, free, free Palestine. Free, free Palestine. Free, free, free Palestine. Free, free Palestine. Free, free, free Palestine. Israel, you can hide for supporting genocide. Israel, you can hide. We charge you with genocide. Free, free Palestine. Free, free, free Palestine. How many kids did you kill today? Richie Torres, what do you say? How many kids did you kill today? Richie Torres, you can't hide. You're supporting genocide. Richie Torres, you can't hide. You're supporting genocide. Free, free Palestine. Free, free, free Palestine. Free, free Palestine. Free, free, free Palestine. Richie Torres, shame on you. We say no to leaders like you. Richie Torres, what do you say? How many kids did you kill today? Richie Torres, shame on you. We say no to leaders like you. Palestine will be free. Palestine will be free.
Palestine will be free.
Palestine is our demand. No peace. Intifada, Intifada. Long live the Intifada. Free Palestine. Free Palestine. Free Palestine. Free Palestine!
Free Palestine! No more money for Israel's crime!
Not another nickel, not another dime!
No more money for
No more money for Israel's
Israel's crime!
crime!
No more money for Israel's crime!
No more money for Israel's crime!
Alright folks, so we're going to get started with our program. So I invite you to circle around this sign right here. It's a red sign, it says Free Palestine. This sign is posted on the door of Richie Torres's office. So gather around. This is where we're going to hear from a couple of speakers, okay? First of all, let me introduce myself. My name is Richie. I'm an organizer with the Bronx Anti-War Coalition. The purpose of this demonstration today is to show the Bronx and show the media. A lot of media is here today, all right? A lot of these corporate media news stations are liars and propagandists for the state of Israel. So we're out here to show the media and show the world that the Bronx stands with Palestine. The people of the Bronx, we have so much in common with the Palestinians, okay? The people of the Bronx are oppressed by the occupying force of the NYPD. Just like the Palestinians are occupied and oppressed by the Israeli occupation forces. The people of the Bronx don't have food, just like the people in Gaza. The people of the Bronx don't have electricity, just like the people of Gaza. The people of the Bronx don't have clean water, just like the people of Gaza. So we're out here to say that Richie Torres does not speak for us. He does not represent the Bronx. I want you to clap really loud if you're from the Bronx and you agree that Richie Torres does not speak for us. So, members of the Bronx Anti-War Coalition wrote a letter to Richie Torres, and we were hoping to meet with him today and deliver it to him in person. Where is Richie Torres? Where is Richie Torres? Where is Richie? Where is Richie? Where is Richie?
Where is Richie? Where is Richie? Where is Richie?
Richie Torres is an AIPAC puppet. Richie Torres is an agent of the state of Israel. He is, shame on him. Shame on Richie Torres. So we wrote a letter to him a couple of days ago, and it's right here, okay? So what I'm gonna do is read the letter out loud, and since he's not here to meet his constituents because he's a coward, what we're gonna do is we're just going to paste it on his office, so when he comes in tomorrow, he'll see it, okay? So this is the letter that we wrote to Richie Torres that caused him to block us on social media. Shame on him. So here's what he said. Here's what we said. Representative Richie Torres, we're glad to see that you finally tweeted about the Bronx after 4 weeks of no mention. Did you forget you represent the poorest congressional district in the United States?
That's right.
Where over 36.2% of your constituents live in poverty? We assume you forgot about us since you mentioned Israel 236% more than you mentioned poverty.
Yeah.
You began your Twitter tantrum by falsely claiming that we are largely pretending to be from the Bronx. That's false. I want you to shout right now if you're from the Bronx, New York. Your outside agitator trope attempts to shift blame, so nobody has to examine why your black, brown, and Jewish constituents and other working people in the Bronx expose your shameful funding for apartheid Israel's genocidal bombing campaign of Gaza. Ironically, though you claim to be a defender of Judaism, your tweets reveal two particularly repugnant reflexes: genocide denial and slander of the Jewish people. As of this writing, approximately 4,000 Palestinian civilians have been killed by Israeli military strikes, which you voted to fund. Among those dead, an estimated 1,500 children, 1,000 women. These numbers are out of date. This was written a couple of days ago, which I'm gonna apologize for that. And another 12,500 wounded. Over 1 million have been displaced.
1 million!
Half of Gaza is children. By any measure, that is genocide, wreaked by the military which you voted to fund. A military that uses internationally banned weapons such as white phosphorus. A military that commits siege warfare upon a civilian population imprisoned in a concentration camp. A military that cuts off food, water, medicine, fuel, internet, and electricity. A military that bombs hospitals, schools, churches, and mosques. Shame on him! It's not blood libel, as you claim on Twitter, to point such horrors out. On the contrary, it's documented fact and the actions not of Jews, but of the state of Israel and Israeli occupation forces. Anyone who conflates those two groups is a true anti-Semite, guilty of peddling what's known as the dual loyalty trope. Those who read this should go straight to opensecrets.org and type in Richie Torres, focusing on the top donors throughout his career. You'll quickly find that Torres's political handlers include AIPAC and Elliott Management, which is founded by Zionist billionaire and Trump contributor Paul Singer. That's who Torres is indebted to, and it sure ain't working class Bronxites.
Yeah.
In your tweet, you also smear millions of Jews as violent and extremists, and absurdly as pretending to be from the Bronx. Were the several hundred Jews recently arrested for peacefully protesting outside Chuck Schumer's building and the Capitol extremist Richie?
No, we're the peace.
No.
We're peace.
Only in the most Orwellian world could you paint the Orthodox Jews who took to the streets of Fordham Road with us this past nightmarish week as anti-Semitic. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you, sir.
Condemning those who fund and defend the murder of children by Israeli airstrikes in the name of collective punishment isn't extremist. It's basic human decency and respect for human lives and rights. There is nothing violent about the flyer announcing our upcoming protest. We simply call out your enablement of Israeli violence and crimes against humanity and make a series of very reasonable demands. First demand, end all U.S. aid to apartheid Israel. Second demand, stop the genocide in Gaza.
Of course.
And third demand, end the Israeli occupation of Palestine. What's actually violent and extremist is funding genocide and writing op-eds to deflect from such horrific crimes as you continue to do at every opportunity. What's actually violent is robbing the people of the Bronx of funding we desperately need for our public schools, for public housing, for health care, and for our migrants who are in dire need of social services.
Exactly.
Giving it to weapons contractors for an ethnic cleansing campaign against Palestinians. You don't represent us. 96.3% of your campaign's funding came from outside of the 15th Congressional District. You represent luxury real estate developers who are eager to turn the South Bronx into the next Williamsburg. Are we gonna let that happen? This ain't Williamsburg. I had a tough upbringing in the projects, oh yeah? Some of us grew up in the projects too, lacking hot water with mold, rats, and piss in the staircase. We remember what it's like to grow up in poverty because we still live here. The Palestinian people also have no water, no food, and no electricity because these have been cut off by Israel's siege warfare on Gaza. They're living through, boo! They're living through a tough upbringing too. We have more in common with the Palestinians than we do with a vendido like you, who pimps out his race and sexuality to the highest bidder. Nothing is more despicable than weaponizing Afro-Latino and gay identities to provide cover for genocide. This is on behalf of the Bronx Anti-War Coalition. You don't represent us Jews. You don't represent us Boricuas. You don't represent us queer folk. And you certainly don't represent the Bronx. This is a signed letter by the Bronx Anti-War Coalition. Do we have tape?
No more money for Israel's crime. Not another nickel. Not another dime. No more money for Israel's crime. Not another nickel. Not another dime. No more money for Israel's crime. Not another nickel. Not another dime. No more money for Israel's crime. Richie Torres, shame on you. Richie Torres, shame on you. You're supporting genocide. You're supporting genocide. Richie Torres, you can't hide. Richie Torres, you can't hide. You're supporting genocide. You're supporting genocide. Richie Torres, shame on you. Richie Torres, shame on you. We say no to leaders like you. We say no to leaders like you. Richie Torres, shame on you. Richie Torres, shame on you. We say no to leaders like you. We say no to leaders like you.
He's right
Next up, I want to invite Janet from the Bronx Anti-War Coalition and a constituent of Richie Torres.
Unfortunately, yes, I am. First of all, good afternoon, Bronx. Thank you so much for coming out for Palestine today. And special thanks to the Bronx Anti-War Coalition, the Bronx Greens, and all of our comrades for organizing this event. Speaking as a Jewish woman, I want to get one thing right out of the way right now. Zionism is not Judaism. Anyone who claims it is pushes the anti-Semitic loyalty trope. Israel does not speak for the Jews. And though he's made a cottage industry, and I do mean cottage industry, of it, Richie Torres doesn't speak for us either. Collective punishment and genocide is a crime against humanity, no matter who does it. But Torres refuses to acknowledge that because he's paid $141,000 by AIPAC to look the other way. Whenever you see an op-ed or a tweet by Torres, and believe me, he tweets a lot, never forget he smears and refuses to listen to Jewish groups like Jewish Voice for Peace, Torah Jews, and that's even more anti-Semitism by him. Not us, by him. A few months ago, a group of us stood in his town hall and asked the congressman to explain why he voted to fund Israel's genocide of Palestinians. You know what he said?
Why?
Want to guess? That it wasn't genocide because the numbers went up. Went up. Think about that for a second. That is exactly what white supremacists say about U.S. slavery, pretending it wasn't all that bad. That's a coward's way to whitewash oppression and murder, and Congressman Torres indulged in it. He should know better, but apparently he doesn't care. That night, he doesn't care at all. That night, he argued the Iron Dome was strictly defensive. Really, Richie? Then why haven't you bought an Iron Dome for the Palestinian children and other civilians who are being killed right now by U.S. supplied bombs? Where's their Iron Dome? Where is it? Giving an ethnic cleansing nation a shield to make their aggression safe for them isn't defensive at all. Every year, the U.S. hands $3 billion, that's billion with a B, to a nation which enjoys health care, education. But every day when I walk through my neighborhood, and I'm a member of the Bronx, I'm a member of Norwood, I see people who are homeless, suffering, doomed to lives of despair in Richie Torres's district. This cannot go on anymore. Do any of you think this can go on anymore?
No!
And a ceasefire is not enough. It's a moral imperative, all aid to Israel end now.
Yeah!
Netanyahu and his accomplices should be arrested and brought to international trial.
That's right.
World leverage should be used to demand a single state with land back for the Palestinians and equal citizenship for all. There's nothing violent or extremist about such ideas, Congressman. That's restitution, fairness, justice, a basic respect for human life. Over 80 years ago, most of the world stood silently while Nazis tried to wipe out my people. And now with Palestine's so-called leaders like Torres are not even being silent. Worse, they're cheering it on and funding it. For history, for human rights, we must speak up against it all.
Yeah.
And by the way, we have a right to free speech, don't we? Or is Richie Torres going to oppose that too?
Yeah, obviously.
As a Jewish woman, I declare the Nakba and Zionism must end. Not in our name, not in our dime. Never again means never again for all. Wow. Thank you very much and peace.
Israel, what do you say?
Israel, what do you say?
How many kids did you kill today?
How many kids did you kill today?
Israel, you can't hide.
Israel, you can't hide.
You're committing genocide.
You're committing genocide.
Israel, you can't hide.
Israel, you can't hide.
You're committing genocide.
You're committing genocide.
Richie Torres, you can't hide.
Richie Torres, you can't hide.
You're committing genocide.
You're committing genocide.
So next up, we want to bring up a friend of the Bronx Anti-War Coalition who was also with us in our last demo, and he took to the streets with us. We took over Fordham Row. We're going to do it again. Here is Rabbi David Weiss.
With the help of the Almighty, I pray to the Almighty to bestow upon me His truth, His wisdom, that I may be worthy of conveying His message, and so, inshallah, sanctify His name and bring peace to the world. Greetings to all on such a sad occasion, such an occasion of bloodshed, of death, suffering. Every minute that goes by is precious because it's another bomb, more lives destroyed. We are here today because we are desperate. We are here today in the name of the Jewish people around the world who are true to the religion of Judaism. We have a history. Our history is, the Torah is 3,000 years old. We accepted a covenant with God to be subservient for 3,000 years already. We strictly adhere to that. Zionism is 150 years of a political movement. They have no right whatsoever to speak in the name of my religion. Judaism teaches us not to kill and not to steal, the basics of Judaism. Just as God is compassionate, you must be compassionate. Judaism taught us throughout our history, yes, we have to be loyal citizens in every country we're residing. 2,000 years ago, that's 1,000 years after we took the covenant, we made a covenant with God, we were sent into exile, dispersed amongst the nations, and explicitly commanded by God, anybody who's a scholar, anybody who opens the Jewish books will know that we, since the destruction of the temple, are forbidden to create 1 inch of Jewish sovereignty. 1 inch, even in an uninhabited land. And that is why for 2,000 years, our history is we went through trials and tribulations, the Inquisition, the Crusades, yet we never established a so-called Jewish sovereignty, a state. Not, even if it would be a truly religious Jewish state, not this farce called the Zionist state of Israel. But whatever, we will never accept this, and we haven't accepted it. We went through the 2,000 years by the Inquisition. The Jews, they would try to forcibly convert them to Christianity. They burnt them at the stake. The remnants, the pictures, the history is there for anybody in Spain and Portugal. It's not a hidden history, it's a fact. And what did the Jews do? They were banished from the land. They ran away from these lands. And who took the Jewish people in? It was the Muslim, the Arab countries, and we flourished amongst them with a distinctly different religion. We believe in one God, but we have a distinctly different religion, and yet it was never an impediment of coexistence. We lived and enjoyed the friendship of the Muslim people. We lived in harmony in the same courtyards. In fact, even some of my colleagues who are here are 8th-generation Palestinian more. We lived in peace. We babysat each other's children. We have a beautiful history of coexistence. Religion is not the cause of all this bloodshed. The difference of religion is something that was created out of fabric by the Zionist people, that they say that is the cause. It's a hate from Muslims to Jews. How revolting, how disgusting is that, to say when a people who took us in and gave us a home and a safe haven and we flourished amongst them, to turn around for your convenience and condemn this with the populace of Muslim countries as being anti-Semitic. That's shameful, that's disgusting.
That's right.
We are required by this Torah, our beautiful covenant with God, to show gratitude for good done to us. We teach our children. We talk about Maimonides, Rambam, who was in Egypt, our great rabbi, our teacher. We speak about all the other generations of our great rabbis and how our communities flourished in the Arab and Muslim lands. We teach them that they must have gratitude. Yet the Zionists, because they had this will, this yearning to implement and create their selfish, flawed nationalism, they sat down together. Look at the farce, the hypocrisy. They made a so-called Jewish state. The Declaration of the Independence was read by Ben Gurion, their first prime minister. You see at the dais, not one man is covering his head. They're making a Jewish state. How comical, how sadly comical this is. They speak in the name of Judaism, in the name of God, when they flagrantly transgress all the laws of the Torah. They beat the Jews who stand up without arms. We're never militant. Nobody in our history carried a gun, yet they're brutally beaten, arrested, and murdered. Our rabbis were assassinated. Boys and girls are, here you can see young children, boys and girls are arrested because they have mandatory IDF, military service. What are they called? Not an army, Israeli Defense Force. That's part of the psychological warfare that they're using. Boys and girls get arrested by us because we refuse to serve in their army. We get beaten. It's a history of well over 75 years that the Jews are being murdered, beaten, and we can show you all these documents. Why? Because we want the world to know. Please stop using our name to kill, to murder, to rebel against God. It's unacceptable. It's not Judaism. We cry with the people of Gaza. We cry and hurt. We've known this prior to the people of Gaza being slaughtered from day one when the Zionists came up to Palestine. We have our senior rabbis who spoke about Der Yassin, how we lived in peace. They gritted their teeth when they spoke about the displacement of the Palestinians. How frustrated, how humiliated we are. It's being done in our name. People think the more the religious you are, the more religious Jewish you are, you support this this wiping out of a beautiful people. We don't support it. We oppose it. We are children of the majority of us, of people who died in Auschwitz. My grandparents were killed in Auschwitz. My father escaped from Hungary when the Nazis came in. Oh, our families come from that. We with our lives, we gave the lives to observe our Torah, to keep our Torah. We die for a purpose, not to use our name for a selfish political purpose of taking over and creating nationalism. This is unacceptable. My grandparents' blood is boiling. This is unacceptable. We cannot be silent. We will not be silent with God's help. The rabbis at day one, when they wanted to create the state, stood up and declared to the United Nations, not the Israeli chief rabbi and rabbinate, which is just another part of the masquerade that what they wear, the facade that they try to use holiness in order to intimidate others, in order to legitimize their illegal, their totally criminal occupation. But here, the rabbi in 1947 in the United Nations documents, the rabbi of the Jewish community, the Eidah Haredis, the God-fearing community that lived for hundreds of years in Palestine, he said, we furthermore wish to express our definite opposition to a Jewish state in any part of Palestine. We went for hundreds of thousands of Jews, stood in the streets of Jerusalem, and we went around the world. Invariably, the very religious communities do not celebrate the state of Israel. We mourn the state of Israel. We cry, we hurt, and we will continually hurt and cry as long as there's 1 inch of this criminal sovereignty, of this criminal occupation. It's not Judaism. We plead, as I said, a Jew has to be a loyal citizen in every country. We speak to our president and to our representatives with respect, with humility. We say to you, I don't know where you're coming from. Perhaps you're being misled. Very many people have good hearts. They feel the suffering of the Jews from the Holocaust. They feel the guilt that they were silent by the Holocaust. And they want to somehow compensate and give them a home. But this is being misled. It's bringing more anger, more anti-Semitism. It's exacerbating anti-Semitism. It's against the Torah simply. Respect the rabbis who say that this is not Judaism. They have some political movement you want to support. Don't use my name, God help us. Don't support killing Palestinian people day and night. I'm going to end with God's help. We want the world to know, if you're looking for truth, step back. Don't insult common sense. What's basic. We live together. Zionism came, and all of a sudden, all the Arab lands, there's not a Jewish community almost entirely. There is still in Iran, by the way. There's other places. But the large Jewish communities disappeared because what Zionism created, a mistrust, a rift, a hate. So we'd say the Zionist state of Israel is anti-Semitism. It has caused the death of Muslims, of Arabs, and of Jews constantly. And now, by Gaza, there was a shock. 1,400 people died. Jewish people were murdered. Yes, it's horrendous, but remember, they know the truth. And they are daring the world. They're telling the world, you support us to kill somebody. Yesterday was the PLO. It was the Intifada. Today it's this, because they're trying to obfuscate, to divert attention for what's so clear, that their hands are covered in blood. They are causing bloodshed. They'll put a Band-Aid. They'll kill, God forbid, thousands of people in Gaza. And what will be tomorrow? There's millions of Palestinians. They're not going to forget their father and sister and brother and mother. They're not going to forget their children. What do you think? What's natural? We're not condoning violence. Tomorrow it'll be somebody else, not Hamas. We plead with you. We have to respect and understand death and suffering is because you're occupying. We plead with you. Stop the occupation. Respect Judaism. Respect what people call humanity. Respect what is godliness. Stop the occupation now. Stop it now. Judaism, yes. Zionism, no. The state of Israel must no. Judaism, yes. Zionism, no. The state of Israel must go. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Zionism no more!
Zionism no more.
Zionism no more!
5, 6, 7, 8.
5, 6, 7,
a Jewish state.
Israel's not a Jewish state.
One. Okay, I see one more though. Enjoy it. 1, 2, 3, 4.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Israel no more.
Israel no more.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Free Palestine.
Free Palestine.
Assalamu alaikum. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Rabbi. Rabbi David Wade. We want to call on our beloved Claudia de la Cruz.
Free Palestine!
Free Palestine.
Long live Palestine!
Long live Palestine.
Viva Palestina!
Viva Palestina.
Libre Palestina!
Libre Palestina.
Comrades, friends, I am excited about being in the Bronx. Because I was born and raised in the Bronx. And I went to school in Theodore Roosevelt High School, right next door. And I have a lot of words to say about the so-called man Richie Torres, as a good Bronx native would call him. But I will just say this. He is a spineless, bootlicking, disgusting man who represents nobody in the Bronx. Nobody in the Bronx.
Nobody.
And I would like to dare and say that if we go around the Bronx and we ask people who Richie Torres is, 90% of them will say we don't know who that is.
That's right.
Because the only people he represents and the people that he's meeting with in Washington, D.C. right now are the Zionists, are the real estate moguls. That is who Richie Torres represents. And the people of the Bronx know this. We just got to make connections. This man goes on Twitter, because he's an armchair Twitter, whatever he wants to call himself. But at the end of the day, he lacks the backbone to make the connection that his people, Puerto Rican people, have been under the boot of U.S. imperialism, of U.S. colonialism for 125 years. If he gave a fuck, if he gave a true fuck about what the people in the Bronx suffer, if he cared just a little bit about his Puerto Rican people, he would spend as much time to decolonize Puerto Rico as much as he spends protecting the Zionists. He could care less. But the people of the Bronx know one thing. We know, and we can make connections, that the same NYPD that harasses our people day in and day out are trained by the Israeli forces. We know that $300 million of the New York State budget go to Israel, while our people suffer homelessness, while our people don't have access to actual meals, where people don't know when and how they're going to pay for rent. And he has the audacity to talk about being from the projects. I know exactly what type of men you were in the projects. We could talk about that some other day. But you're definitely not the one that had a backbone defending anybody. And so we are here to say that it is a shame that this man stands in Congress and dares to spit out the Bronx out his mouth. He is a shame to the Bronxites. He is a shame to the Puerto Rican community. He should never spit out Puerto Rico because he hasn't done shit for Puerto Rico independence. And so, brothers and sisters, to say that Israel, the Israeli regime, is responsible. I'm not even going to say numbers because we know numbers are going up. And we know this shit did not start October 7th. We know that this has been going on for over 75 years.
That's right.
So we're talking about hundreds of thousands of deaths at the hands of Israel and at the hands of the United States.
That's right.
With our tax money. With money that belongs to the people.
That's right.
$4 billion a year talking about, well, there's two sides to the story. He needs to read a book.
That's right.
He needs to read a book.
That's right.
Because ultimately, 75 years plus equates to genocide. And what's happening right now equates to Holocaust. And we need to call it for what it is.
That's right.
When you have more than 500 people killed in a day, mostly children and mothers, that's Holocaust.
That's right.
When you're talking about bombing infrastructure that is necessary to sustain life, that shit is Holocaust.
That's right.
You're bombing schools. You're bombing homes. You're bombing hospitals, churches, temples, mosques. What? That is ludicrous. And it's intentional. These people are intentionally talking about mass murder.
That's right.
Are we going to sit back and take that?
No.
It is important to remember that we're part of a larger movement. I got back from South Africa 3 days ago. And the comrades in South Africa and the representation from the Arab world, representation from Latin America, from India, had one united call. Free Palestine.
Free Palestine.
The whole world, the whole world is chanting Free Palestine.
Free Palestine.
None of these so-called leaders, from the Israeli regime to the U.S. empire, to the British, to the French, none of them represent their people, because their people are on the street daily saying, Free Palestine. And we, comrades, we cannot let go of the chant until Palestine is free. The struggle that Palestine is waging is a struggle for humanity. It's a struggle in defense of people's lives. It's a struggle against colonialism. It's a struggle against oppression. And it's a damn struggle against U.S. imperialism. And that is our struggle too. Because in the same ways that they're being ostracized, murdered, persecuted, displaced, we are experiencing the same things here.
That's right.
Palestinians are our brothers and sisters. And what do we do with our brothers and sisters?
Love them.
We protect them. If we don't have the ability to protect the people we love, then we're not loving. We gotta protect Palestine.
That's right.
We have to love Palestine.
That's right.
Because we ain't free until Palestine is free.
That's right.
Free Palestine!
Free Palestine.
Long live Palestine!
Long live Palestine.
Podium in our coach. By the way, you can vote for her for president like I am. I would like to introduce one of our country's strongest Palestinian leaders, Professor Rabab Abdul Hadi, who came all the way from San Francisco, where she teaches at San Francisco State University, my alma mater. Rabab.
Thank you, brothers and sisters. Can you hold my cane? I'll just stand against the wall. Thank you. First of all, I want to recognize that we are meeting on the Napes people, indigenous, unceded, occupied land.
That's right.
Secondly, I want to salute all the indigenous, black and brown people and people of conscience who are gathering here, who have led so many struggles. We're talking about the 1965 Dominican Republic equation, right? We know about that. We're talking about the independence of Puerto Rico. We're talking about the murder of George Floyd and so many people. And we're talking about a mayor who is in cohorts with this man, who is adding more policing, more punishment, more disciplining of our people today, and being trained with Israel and colluding with Israel.
Shame!
I want to just give you some sobering statistics that just has arrived now from Gaza. 33 tons of explosives have been dropped on 1 kilometer square in the Mediterranean, which equates
the bombing on Hiroshima. Gaza has been bombed with 12,000 tons of explosives. The number of martyrs has reached at 3 p.m. It's now must be more. 5,791 people. 2,360 children. 1,290 women and girls. 295 elderly. Add to them 1,550 martyrs who are missing under the rubble. Injuries reach 16,297, and this is according to the Health Ministry of Gaza. We do not have the final statistics, as my sister Claudia said. People who've been displaced have been 1,400,000 Palestinians. 70% of the people in Gaza who are originally refugees have been made refugees many times. In it, Israel is trying to create another Nakba, displace the Palestinians, and as Israelis said, create a parking lot of Gaza.
Shame!
640 more massacres have been committed against Palestinian families. Total families have been wiped out. Our friends in Gaza, one family 44, another family 33, another family 11, another family 9, another family 23. Again and again and again you hear of the names of families. There is no place to bury the dead. Let's pause for a minute and think about, what does this mean? What does this human genocide mean? What does it mean? Why is it acceptable to somebody like Richie Torres? I went into his website today, and 6 hours ago, today, he posted, and I want to respond to what he said. He said, during an Israeli hate rally in New York City, activists were caught on video, he didn't edit, chanting, resistance is justified. Exactly what is justified? This is what Richie Torres is saying. Hamas butchering and burning babies? We do know that this is a lie.
That's
We
right.
know that this is something that Biden repeated
Yep.
based on a lie Netanyahu, the liar, gave him,
Yep.
and continued saying it. In
Right.
fact, I'm going to give you only some examples because we don't have a lot of time. In 2015, Israeli Zionists attacked and burned the home of the Babshe family, burning alive 15-month-old baby Ali. The whole family was injured, and the mother died later on. There's only one child left of that family. And this was in the village of Douma, in Nablus, not far from where I was born and I grew up. On July 2nd, 2014, Israeli Zionists kidnapped Palestinian youth Muhammad Abu Khder from in front of his home and took him to a forest built on the ruins of the village of Deir Yassin, made him drink kerosene and burned him alive. Watched for him to be burned alive. Is this not lynching? I ask you. Richie Torres says Hamas is cutting open the womb of a pregnant woman so the fetus could be left hanging by an umbilical cord. In fact, Israeli Haganah Zionists, Haganah militias, before Israel was founded on April 9th, 1948, in the Deir Yassin village, the Red Cross reported wombs of Palestinian women cut open and the fetus were brought out. This is not something I'm reporting. This is the Red Cross, the International Committee of Red Cross. In 1982, under Israeli eyes, with the help of Israeli floodlights and the Israeli military, Palestinians were slaughtered in Sabra and Shatila, raped, their wombs cord, and we do not know until now where is going to be the accountability. How are we there? They obstructed every single account, and this is the United States government, by the way, intervened to obstruct accountability. How Torres says, Hamas abducting a Holocaust survivor. In fact, today, a woman was released, Israeli woman, and the Israeli media made the mistake of having her live speak on TV and saying that I was very nicely treated, I was given food, I was given water, I shook the hand of dentists. By the way, there are so many stories of this sort, but the Israeli media campaign, the Hasbara, is covering it up. This is something. In fact, Palestinians has never participated in the Holocaust. The Holocaust was committed by European anti-Semite colonist powers.
That's right.
Who wanted to get rid of the Jews among themselves.
Right.
And colluded also with the Zionist movement to create the state of Israel on Palestinian land and create another genocide.
That's right.
Many Holocaust survivors have stood by us. Some like these brothers here, Naturi Karta, who we consider part and parcel of the Palestinian people. You are Palestinians. Naturi Karta every year bears their Israeli passports in Jerusalem, and they always say we're Palestinians. But I mention also Professor Israel Shahak, lawyer Felicia Langer, who defended Palestinian prisoners until she died, Hajo Mayor, who passed away a few years ago, Hedy Epstein, and even today the scholar Norman Finkelstein, whose family is survivors of the Holocaust.
That's right.
We don't have enough time to mention all the names who have survived. And in fact, like the sister spoke at the beginning, the protests in Washington taking over the Congress, that was led by Jewish Voice for Peace, if not now, another Jewish organization on their own, without begging, without asking, from Palestinians, went and said, never again for anyone.
That's right.
Never again for anyone.
That's right.
Richie Torres says, if you justify these medieval atrocities as resistance, you are not progressive. It's very interesting. To me, I posted on his website today, said, why don't you come take a listen? Come and learn. Bring a piece of paper or your iPad and maybe take some moments, because you really need to learn. You do not know. You are a failed student. It's very rich. It's very rich for Richie Torres to talk about medievalism. My brother spoke about this. But the fact that the colonists of Spain, who in 1492 conducted inquisition and massacres against Jews and Muslims, forced them to eat pork or convert to show that they converted, are the same ones who sent the man who got lost, but where the conquistadores started the colonization of the Americas and the eradication of a whole people, many people, like the Arawak, the Taino Indians, and many others. We know this history, right? And we do know that in Spanish Spain, as my brother said, that the only place where Jews were able to go, like Ibn Maimonides, the very well-known scholar from Cordoba, was in Cairo. He could not go to any European country because of right-wing anti-Semitism. This is where the tolerance and the pluralism by people who are Muslims, Arabs, and sometimes they called Moors, El Moros, right? Because Moorish from Africa and also black, right? So we know all the connections. I think it's really important to keep those in mind. These are the people who, and he calls them Spanish, by the way. And he said these are Spanish, actually no, the Sephardic, and he doesn't know. So there is a lot of things that Richie Torres doesn't know, and he needs to learn more and more and more about this. I don't want to take too much time. I just want to say that when Richie Torres says that he speaks for LGBTQI communities, exactly, we said to him,
How can you support
we said,
people that are oppressed?
exactly, and we said to him, go listen to Palestinian Queers for BDS, go listen for Aswad, go listen for many Jewish and Palestinian and Israeli groups who are standing day in, day out against pinkwashing, against trying to present Israel as a haven. And we know what is happening every single day. When Richie Torres says that he speaks for the people, he does not speak for the people. He speaks for the people who are bribing him and giving him money and every single day spreading lies. I thank you for being here and your voices, and you really need to know that every single day a protest takes place. Palestinians hear about it. I receive news from Gaza, and they hear about it every single day. And they say, please, more, 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 more. Ceasefire immediately.
Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now!
Stop the genocide in Gaza immediately. Stop the genocide now. Stop the genocide now. Stop the genocide now. We want the humanitarian aid to enter, because in the hospitals they don't even have alcohol to clean the wounds. They are using vinegar. If there is vinegar left, there are hospitals who have been bombed. There are people who have been killed. People having surgeries without anesthesia. This is what's happening in Gaza. People don't have food, don't have fuel, do not have clean water, do not have any homes. But people in Gaza and people in Palestine are determined to be steadfast, to resist, to stand up for their rights. Over 100 Palestinians in the West Bank have been killed since October 7th, since the beginning of this year. Over 500 Palestinians in Israel, in 48 areas, have been arrested, including a poet who wrote something on Facebook, and she has been prosecuted by the Israeli state. So much for Israeli democracy, so much for democracy, so much for all this garbage that Biden and his ilk and all of these people in Congress are perpetuating this killing. We want to stop U.S. aid immediately. All U.S. aid must be stopped.
Not with our taxes! Not with our taxes!
Not with our taxes!
Not with our taxes! Not another nickel! Not
Another dime.
No more money for Israel's crimes.
Not another nickel. Not another dime.
No more money for Israel's crimes!
Free Palestine.
Free
Thank you so
Palestine!
much. We mourn for everybody who fell, whether it is in the streets of Gaza, in the streets of Jenin, or Nablus, or Derstia, or Zeta, or Akka, or Haifa, or Asqalan, or every single refugee camp and every single place in Gaza. We mourn for the people who fell, who were killed here on the streets by the fascist police. We mourn for every child who has been lost anywhere due to the greed, imperialism, and colonial violence. We mourn for all of them, and we pledge that we will not allow this to go on anymore. No more. No more money for occupation. No more money for imperialism. Nobody speaks in our name, as my friends, the anti-Zionist Jewish people say, not in my name. Not in my name. Thank you. Thank you so much. Free Palestine. Justice for all.
Viva, viva Palestina!
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 All right, we're gonna get ready to march. We're gonna hit the streets, and we're gonna show the Bronx that the Bronx stands in solidarity with the people of Palestine. We stand in solidarity with the people in Gaza who are fighting against the genocide that the U.S. and Israel is committing against them, and which Richie Torres is voting to fund. So, let's get ready to march. We need you to stay behind this banner, which will be at the front of the march. So get ready to march, get seen, and we need you to be loud and we need you to scream, because we want the people in Palestine to know that the Bronx stands with you, and we will not stop fighting until Palestine is free. All right, get ready.
Free Palestine! Free Palestine!
I was trying to cover up my shit. Thursday at 5:30. Usually people sell flies there. So if you go there.
Palestine will be free.
Okay, thank you.
We're heading west.
Okay.
Crossing the street, heading west. What? We're gonna walk the sidewalk. No, we're walking the street.
Occupation no more! Occupation no more! 5, 6, 7, 8! 5, 6, 7, 8! Smash the settlers' dynasty! Louder, guys! 1, 2, 3, 4! 1, 2, 3, 4! Occupation
Oh, no, feed it back a little bit.
Okay. Yeah, fuck it up.
5, 6, 7, 8! 5, 6, 7, 8! Smash the settlers' dynasty! Smash the settlers' dynasty! When Palestine is under attack, what do we do? What do we do? Stand up, fight back. When Gaza is under attack, what do we do? Stand up, fight back. What do we do? Stand up, fight back. What do we do? Stand up, fight back. Not another nickel, not another dime. Not another nickel, not another dime. No more money for Israel's crime. Not another nickel, not another dime. Not another nickel, not another dime. No more money for Israel's crime. No more money for Israel's crime. Free, free Palestine. Free, free Palestine. Free, free, free Palestine. Free, free, free Palestine. Free, free Palestine.
Free, free Palestine.
Free, free, free Palestine. Israel, what do you say? How many kids did you kill today? Israel, what do you say? How many kids did you kill today? Richie Torres, you can't hide. You're supporting genocide. Richie Torres, you can't hide. You're supporting genocide.
Supporting genocide.
Richie Torres, shame on you.
Richie Torres, shame on you.
We say no to leaders like you.
We say no to leaders like you.
Richie Torres, shame on you.
Richie Torres, shame on you.
We say no to leaders like you.
We say no to leaders like you.
Richie Torres, you can't hide.
Richie Torres, you can't hide.
You're supporting genocide.
Supporting genocide.
Intifada, intifada.
Intifada, intifada.
Long live intifada.
Long live intifada.
Intifada, intifada.
Intifada, intifada.
Globalize the intifada.
Globalize the intifada.
Intifada, intifada.
Intifada, intifada.
Long live intifada.
Long live intifada.
No justice.
No peace.
No justice.
No peace.
No justice.
No peace.
Torres, shame on you.
We say no to leaders like you.
We say no to leaders like you.
Richie Torres, you will see.
Richie Torres, you will see.
Palestine will be free.
Palestine will be free.
Free, free Palestine.
Free, free Palestine.
Free, free, free Palestine.
Free, free, free Palestine.
Free, free Palestine.
Free, free, free Palestine.
Free, free, free Palestine.
Free, free, free Palestine.
From the river to the sea.
From the river to the sea.
Palestine will be free.
Palestine will be free.
From the river to the sea.
From the river to the sea.
Palestine will be free.
Palestine will be free.
We will free Palestine.
We will free Palestine.
Within our lifetime.
Within our lifetime.
We will free Palestine.
We will free Palestine.
Within our lifetime.
Within our lifetime.
No justice.
No peace.
No justice.
No peace.
No justice.
No peace.
What do we want?
Justice.
When do we want it?
Now.
If we don't get it.
Shut it down.
If we don't get it.
Shut it down.
If we don't get it.
Shut it down.
Free, free Palestine.
Free, free Palestine.
Free, free, free Palestine.
Free, free, free Palestine.
Free, free Palestine.
Free, free Palestine.
Free, free, free Palestine.
Free, free, free Palestine.
Say it loud, say it clear.
Say it loud, say it clear.
We don't want no Zionists here.
We don't want no Zionists here.
Say it loud, say it clear.
Say it loud, say it clear.
We don't want no Zionists here.
We don't want no Zionists here.
No justice.
No peace.
No justice.
No peace.
From New York to Gaza.
From New York to Gaza.
Mobilize the Intifada.
Mobilize the Intifada.
From New York to Gaza.
From New York to Gaza.
Mobilize the Intifada.
Mobilize the Intifada.
Intifada, Intifada.
Intifada, Intifada.
Long live Intifada.
Long live Intifada.
Intifada, Intifada.
Intifada, Intifada.
Long live Intifada.
Long live Intifada.
Resistance is justified.
Resistance is justified.
When people are occupied.
When people are occupied.
Resistance is justified.
Resistance is justified.
When people are occupied.
When people are occupied.
Israel, what do you say?
Israel, what do you say?
How many kids did you kill today?
How many kids did you kill today?
Israel, what do you say?
Israel, what do you say?
How many kids did you kill today?
How many kids did you kill today?
Netanyahu, you can't hide.
Netanyahu, you can't hide.
You're committing genocide.
You're committing genocide.
Netanyahu, you can't hide.
Netanyahu, you can't hide.
You're committing genocide.
You're committing genocide.
Richie Torres, you can't hide.
Richie Torres, you can't hide.
You're supporting genocide.
You're supporting genocide.
Eric Adams, you can't hide.
Eric Adams, you can't hide.
You're supporting genocide.
You're supporting genocide.
Joe Biden, you can't hide.
Joe Biden,
You can't hide.
You're supporting genocide.
You're supporting genocide. Joe Biden, you can't hide. You're supporting genocide.
lío con la...
con la soledad.
Occupation is a crime. From New York to Palestine. Occupation is a crime. From New York to Palestine. Occupation is a crime. Palestine. 1, 2, 3, 4. Occupation no more. 5, 6, 7, 8.
One, two, three, four.
wars. 5, 6, 7, 8.
National Settler Zionist State.
National Settler Zionist State.
We will free Palestine.
We will free Palestine within our lifetime.
We will free Palestine.
We will free Palestine
Within our lifetime.
within our lifetime. Free Palestine. Free Palestine. Free Palestine. Free Palestine. From the river to the sea.
Palestine will be free.
Palestine will be free.
From the river to the sea.
From the river to the sea.
Palestine will be free.
Palestine will be free.
Hey, ho, ho. Zionism has got to go.
Hey, hey, ho, ho. Zionism has got to go. Hey, hey, ho, ho. Zionism has got to go. Hey, hey, ho, ho. Zionism has got to go. Hey, hey, ho, ho. Zionism has got to go. Hey, hey, ho, ho. Zionism has got to go. Hey, ho, ho. Israel has got to go. Hey, hey, ho, ho. Israel has got to go. Ho, ho. Zionism has got to go. Hey, hey, ho, ho. Occupation has got to go.
From New York to Palestine.
From New York to Palestine.
Occupation is a crime.
Occupation is a crime.
Puerto Rico to Palestine.
Puerto Rico to Palestine.
Intifada, intifada.
Intifada, intifada.
Long live intifada.
Long live intifada.
Intifada, intifada.
Intifada, intifada.
Mobilize the intifada.
Mobilize the intifada.
Gaza, Gaza, don't you cry.
Gaza, Gaza, don't you cry.
Palestine will never die.
Palestine will never die.
Gaza, Gaza, don't you cry.
Gaza, Gaza, don't you cry.
Palestine will never die.
Palestine will never die.
We will free Palestine.
We will free Palestine.
Within our lifetime.
Within our lifetime.
We will free Palestine.
We will free Palestine.
Within our lifetime.
Within our lifetime.
From New York to Gaza.
From New York to Gaza.
Mobilize the intifada.
Mobilize the intifada.
Intifada, intifada.
Intifada, intifada.
Long live intifada.
Long live the intifada.
From New York to Gaza.
From New York to Gaza.
Mobilize the intifada.
Mobilize the intifada.
Free Palestine.
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 From the river to the sea.
From the river to the sea.
Palestine will be free.
Palestine will be free.
From the river to the sea.
From the river to the sea.
Palestine will be free.
Palestine will be free.
Free Palestine.
Free.
Occupation is a crime.
Occupation is a crime.
From New York to Palestine.
From New York to Palestine.
We will free Palestine.
We will free Palestine.
Within our lifetime.
Within our lifetime.
What do we want?
Justice.
When do we want it?
Now.
If we don't get it,
Shut it down.
we don't get it.
Shut it down.
If we don't get it,
Shut it down.
Israel, what do you say?
Israel, what do you say?
How many kids did you kill today?
How many kids did you kill today?
Israel, what do you say?
Israel, what do you say?
How many kids did you kill today?
How many kids did you kill today?
Netanyahu, you can't hide.
Netanyahu, you can't hide.
You're committing genocide.
You're committing genocide.
Joe Biden, you can't hide.
Joe Biden, you can't hide.
You're supporting genocide.
You're supporting genocide.
Richie Torres, you can't hide.
Richie Torres, you can't hide.
You're supporting genocide.
You're supporting genocide.
Joe Biden, shame on you.
Joe Biden, shame on you.
We say no to leaders like you.
We say no to leaders like you.
Richie Torres, shame on you.
Richie Torres, shame on you.
We say no to leaders like you.
We say no to leaders like you.
Free
kids that you killed today? No justice? No peace. No justice? No peace. No justice? No peace. What do we want? Justice. When do we want it? Now. If we don't get it, shut it down. 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 Free, free Palestine. Free Palestine. Free Palestine. Free Palestine. Say it loud, say it clear. Say it loud, say it clear. We don't want no Zionists here. We don't want no Zionists here. Say it loud, say it clear. Say it loud, say it clear. We don't want no Zionists here. We don't want no Zionists here. People united will never be defeated. The people united will never be defeated. Will never be defeated. The people united will never be defeated. United will never be defeated. United will never be defeated. The people united will never be defeated.
The people united.
Will never be defeated.
El pueblo unido. El pueblo unido.
Jamás será vencido.
Jamás será vencido. El pueblo unido jamás será vencido.
Ahora. Justicia. Ahora.
¿Para quién Palestina? ¿Para quién
Palestina.
¿Para quién
Palestina.
¿Para quién
Palestina.
¿Para quién
Palestina.
¡Viva, viva Palestina!
Viva, viva 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 Palestina.
¡Free, free Palestine!
Free Palestine.
¡Free, free Palestine!
Free Palestine.
¡Free, free, free Palestine!
Free Palestine.
¡Free, free, free Palestine!
Free Palestine.
¡Free, free Palestine!
Free Palestine.
¡Free, free, free Palestine!
Free Palestine.
¡Free, free, free Palestine!
Free Palestine.
¡Viva, viva Palestina!
Viva Palestina.
¡Viva, viva Palestina!
Viva, viva Palestina.
¡Viva, viva Palestina!
Viva Palestina.
Richie Torres, what do you say?
Richie Torres, what do you say?
How many kids did you kill today?
How many kids did you kill today?
Richie Torres, what do you say?
Richie Torres, what do you say?
How many kids did you kill today?
How many kids did you kill today?
President Biden, what do you say?
President Biden, what do you say?
How many kids did you kill today?
How many kids did you kill today?
Kathy Hochul, what do you say?
Kathy Hochul, what do you say?
How many kids did you kill today?
How many kids did you kill today?
Eric Adams, what do you say?
Eric Adams, what do you say?
How many kids did you kill today?
How many kids did you kill today?
Reggie Torres, what do you say?
Richie Torres, what do you say?
How many kids did you kill today?
How many kids did you kill today?
Viva, viva Palestina!
Viva, viva Palestina.
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 Puerto Rico to Palestine!
Palestine.
Occupation is a crime!
Occupation is a crime.
Puerto Rico to Palestine!
Puerto Rico to Palestine.
Occupation is a crime!
Occupation is a crime.
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 Puerto Rico to Palestine!
Puerto Rico to Palestine.
Puerto Rico to Palestine!
Puerto Rico to Palestine.
Puerto Rico to Palestine!
Puerto Rico to Palestine.
Viva, viva Palestina!
Viva, viva Palestina.
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 De Puerto
Rico to Palestine. Puerto Rico to Palestine.
From Puerto Rico to Palestine.
Occupation is a crime.
Richie Torres, you can hide.
We charge you with genocide.
We charge you with genocide.
Richie Torres, you can hide.
Richie Torres, you can hide.
We charge you with genocide.
We charge you with genocide.
Viva, viva Palestina.
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 From the river to the sea.
From the river to the sea.
Palestine will be free.
Palestine will be free.
From the river to the sea.
From the river to the sea.
Palestine will be free.
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 Richie Torres, you can't hide.
Richie Torres, you can't hide.
We charge you with genocide.
We charge you with genocide.
Richie Torres, you can't hide.
Richie Torres, you can't hide.
We charge you with genocide.
We charge you with genocide.
Really? Yeah, no shit. His name's like Tony. I looked up his name one time. I like to, you know,
Ricky Torres,
like,
asesino.
I like to call him Anthony Number.
Asesino. Asesino.
Asesino!
Asesino. 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 Viva, viva Palestina.
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 Pueblo unido jamás será vencido.
El pueblo unido jamás será vencido. El pueblo unido jamás será vencido. El pueblo unido jamás será vencido. El pueblo unido jamás será vencido. El pueblo unido jamás será vencido. El pueblo.
Give yourself a hand.
Richie Torres, you can't hide. We charge you with genocide. Richie Torres, you can't hide. We charge you with genocide. Richie Torres, you can't hide.
We charge you with genocide.
We charge you with genocide.
We charge you with genocide.
We charge you with genocide!
We charge you with genocide.
We charge you with genocide!
Eric Adams, you can't hide.
We charge you with genocide!
We charge you with genocide.
Kathy Hochul, you can't hide!
Kathy Hochul, you can't hide.
We charge you with genocide!
We charge you with genocide.
Joseph Biden, you can't hide!
Joseph Biden, you can't hide.
We charge you with genocide!
We charge you with genocide.
Richie Torres, you can't hide!
Richie Torres, you can't hide.
We charge you with genocide!
We charge you with genocide.
Free Palestine!
Free, free Palestine.
Free Palestine!
Free, free, free Palestine. Free, free Palestine. Free, free, free Palestine. Free, free, free Palestine. Free, free, free Palestine.
Palestine! Free, free, free Palestine! Free, free, free Palestine! From the river to the sea! Palestine will be free! From the river to the sea! Palestine will be free! Palestine will be free! Palestine will be free! From the river to the sea! Free, free Palestine! Free, free Palestine! Free, free, free Palestine! Free, free Palestine! Free, free Palestine! Free, 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 free, free Palestine! In our lifetime! We need a blue flag somewhere. Yeah. Palestine will be free! Palestine will be free! From the river to the sea! From the river to the sea! Palestine will be free! Palestine will be free! From the river to the sea! Palestine will be free! Palestine will be free! Free, free, free Palestine! Within our lifetime! Within our lifetime! Free, free, free Palestine! Free, free, free Palestine! Within our lifetime! Within our lifetime! From Palestine to Mexico! From Palestine to Mexico! The border walls have got to go! The border walls have got to go! From Palestine to Mexico! From Palestine to Mexico! The border walls have got to go! The border walls have got to go! From Palestine to Mexico! From Palestine to Mexico! The border walls have got to go! The border walls have got to go! From Palestine to Philippines! From Palestine to Philippines! Stop the U.S. war machine! Stop the U.S. war machine! From Palestine to Philippines! From Palestine to Philippines! Stop the U.S. war machine! Stop the U.S. war machine! Free, free Palestine! Free, free Palestine! Free, free, free Palestine! Free, free, free Palestine! Free, free Palestine! Free, free Palestine! Free, free, free Palestine! Free, free, free Palestine! From the river to the sea! From the river to the sea! Palestine will be free! Palestine will be free! From the river to the sea! From the river to the sea! Palestine will be free! Palestine will be free! Free, free Palestine! Free, free Palestine! Free, free, free Palestine! Free, free, free Palestine! Free, free Palestine! Free, free Palestine! Within our lifetime! 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 Make some noise for justice and for liberation, everybody! We are here to weave the fabric of truth. Our movement relies on each and every one of us. We cannot center violence from the oppressor, violence from anti-Semitism, violence from state-sanctioned forces, from the NYPD to the IDF. We cannot center violence in our movements. And that means do not ask the oppressed about their tactics fighting for liberation, period. Because if the people of so-called Israel wanted to live in harmony with Palestinians on their land, they would have done so. They would not have asked the U.S. for more weapons to kill Palestinians, to push them out of their homes. They would not have asked the world to look the other way while they commit acts of genocide.
Right.
This calls on every one of us. For shame, Israel, for shame! For shame! This calls on every one of us to extend our hearts, our empathy. It was during the movement for civil rights in the United States that the Jewish community stood with the black community.
That's right.
It was during the movement for Palestinians
in the early 80s that the black community, the Black Panthers, stood in solidarity with Palestinians. We are continuing to weave the fabric of truth in our movements. We will not let it be co-opted by state-sanctioned violence, by those who do not have our best interests in mind and at heart. Say our names in unison, the names of all the martyrs, the names of all the children, innocent victims, families, the names of all the teenagers that had hopes and dreams to grow into adults and to fight for a better future. It calls on every one of us to mourn those lives lost. Do not let it drive you to despair. Let this radicalize you. Let this radicalize you rather than drive you to despair. Because none of these children deserve to die.
That's right.
We have to open our hearts. We have to bear witness to these crimes. We were not born to be here and close our eyes to this violence.
That's it.
We have to witness this violence beyond our comprehension and call it out.
That's right.
Call it out.
Call it out.
Every step of the way, call it out.
That's right.
Because it is not only in Palestine that they are dropping bombs. They are dropping bombs in Lebanon and Syria.
Right.
This is a fight against people who want to live in harmony with the land and people that want to extract it, people that want to treat others as a sacrifice zone, as resources expendable to be sacrificed. We cannot allow this within our lifetimes. The same tactics that the Israeli regime is using have been used in South Africa and even by this country, the so-called United States, against the Native Americans here and Native communities here. We have to learn from the mistakes of history so that they will not repeat itself. That is why we are here today. No more Palestinians deserve to die. Period. We have to defend their land rights, their sovereignty. We have to stand in truth and justice. And we have to remember why we are here. Because love calls us to be here. Love is not an empty piece that averts its eyes to violence. Love stands in solidarity and says, we will take on this. No matter what, we will stand together and fight against this. Because that is not the world we deserve. That violence is not the world we deserve. This is the world we deserve. Standing in solidarity, standing in each other's presence, fighting for each other's collective future. This is the world we deserve. Thank you to our Jewish comrades, to our Palestinian comrades, to all of our comrades here. From every river to every sea, we are fighting so all oppressed peoples will be free. Thank you, everybody. My name is Ade. I'm Nigerian American. I'm also fighting against the legacy of the colonial UK regime in Africa. Because that affects us all. We have to decolonize our minds to be here and to be present here. So thank you, each and every one of you, for being here.
Thank you, give it up! When Palestine is under attack, what do we do?
Stand up, fight back!
When Gaza is under attack, what do we do?
Stand up, fight back!
When Palestine is under attack, what do we do?
Stand up, fight back!
When Gaza is under attack, what do we do?
Stand up, fight back!
Before I introduce our next speaker, I just want to highlight that we are standing on top of this so-called military recruitment station. We know that the U.S. military preys on young black and brown students in the South Bronx. What do we have to say to that?
Hell no!
Shame on the U.S. military for using predatory tactics to try to recruit oppressed and poor brown and black and brown students in the South Bronx.
Shame!
The U.S. government will never give us universal health care and free college as long as the U.S. military exists.
As long as they give money to Israel.
As long as they give money to Israel. So our work is not done until the U.S. military is abolished entirely. fund it, but down to $0. We also want to abolish the police, and we also want to abolish NATO. All right, next up.
Next, we're going to hear from a long time Puerto Rican activist and leader who worked for the MTA for decades, led tens of thousands of transit workers fighting for their rights and for union rights for all of us. It's my friend and comrade, Jaime Veve.
And this is also speaking to the shame of the AFL-CIO, the labor union of the workers of this country, in their silence, in the midst of atrocious carnage against workers and peasants in Palestine. And except for the UE, United Electrical Workers, and a couple of other unions who have spoken out, the movement of labor follows the dictates of the U.S. State Department. How many of you know that the AFL-CIO, just to show you another aspect, since 1948 holds the sum of close to $5 billion in Israeli bonds.
Abolish that. Abolish that.
Israeli bonds as part of the establishment of Israel and the colonial military garrison. And do you think the workers ever had a chance to vote on this issue? No! They don't even know about it.
Right.
Except for those of us who joined the labor movement after the war in Vietnam. This army recruiting station was the site of numerous anti-war protests and takeover back in the early 60s and 70s. I was part of that. I forgot about this place, except when we started walking up and images came up. And I bring this up because I just want to make a couple of points. We are of the generation of the Vietnam War. We lived the horrendous destruction and genocidal bombings and killings and U.S. war policy in Vietnam. A policy that the U.S. has pursued not only in Vietnam, but in other parts of the world, including Palestine. So when we are lectured by the mass media about our morality and our lack of sympathy and our lack of understanding of the complexity of what's happening in Palestine, we call bullshit. Bullshit! The U.S. has no moral right to speak about morality and justice and peace and nonviolence. That's right. Talk to the Vietnamese. Yeah. Talk to the Panamanians. Talk to the Grenadians. Talk to South Africa. And the Afghanis and Iraq, that's right. The more recent U.S. genocidal wars where more than 10 million Arab people have died at the hands of the U.S. since 2001.
Horrible.
This is important to recognize the role of the U.S. because right now there is a Marine general in Israel advising the Israelis on how to conduct inner city war, urban guerrilla war. There are lessons that they learned in Vietnam and that they learned from the French who were in Vietnam before. And now they are transmitting it in preparation for the onslaught, the further onslaught of Palestine and Gaza. We should not, those of us of the progressive, the left, accept the narrative that we are being bombarded with, the tsunami of mass media manipulation and distortion of what the fundamental issue is in Palestine. Remember what Malcolm said, Malcolm X.
Tell it.
The media will have you hating your friends and loving your enemies. Let's remember that, because that's what we're going to have to deal with. And many people within the liberal spectrum and within even sectors of the left have begun to capitulate and blame the victim and blame Hamas as though that is the issue. No, let's not forget the fundamental issue. The fundamental issue is that colonialism has brutalized, tortured, and killed the Palestinians for decades. And thereby the Palestinians have responded as anyone would respond.
That's right.
And whether you agree or you disagree with the actual methods, that is not the issue. The issue is settler colonialism must end.
That's right.
If you want justice, if you really want peace, and you want us no more blood to be spilled by either Arabs or Jews, then we must demand the end of colonialism, the destruction of Zionism as a political, ideological framework. No ifs or buts. Now, in terms of the media, and people have referred to it, we are being bombarded with so many distortions. Just like during the Afghanistan, or before that, the Iraqi war, how the Iraqis went into Kuwait and killed babies in their cribs and turned out to be total lies. And whether or not there were actual abuses and atrocities conducted, whether or not, that is not the issue. And we get bombarded with this by the mass media without any proof or actuality. And we know, as experienced older generation, we look at things maybe a little different than when we were younger, maybe a little more critical, maybe more historical, but the fundamental questions have to remain. You're either for settler colonialism, you're either for imperialism, you're either for injustice, you're either for violence, or you are not. No ifs or buts. Now, I want to refer you to the fact that 53 years ago, and I raise this because they're not telling us everything. They're not telling us the truth of what happened that day on October 7th. They're not telling us about the panic of the Israeli army and the fact that they just went ballistic at the audacity of the imprisoners, the audacity of the prisoners to break out of jail. And they went crazy. And I don't have any doubt that a lot of the victims who were killed, Israeli victims, were killed at the hands of the Israeli army. I have no doubt. Why do I say that? Because of the way the war was conducted and the way the Israelis view the Palestinians and the oppressed as not worth even any consideration. And also the Israelis have a policy called the Dalan theory. They will kill everyone at once and let no Palestinian escape. That's their policy. And we believe it was conducted then. Now, I'm going to end with one little historical reference, which many of you may not know about. Palestinians escaped out of a prison.
Yes.
A prison which gave them no hope, no possibilities of living a life that we would consider normal. They escaped the prison, an open-air prison. Well, in 1971, there is a prison upstate called Attica. Attica prison was horrendous prison situation upstate. In 1971, the prisoners took over the prison and held some guards captive, the very ones who abused them every day. What was the response of the state of New York and its governor at that time? To send in the troops who unmercifully killed not only most of the guards who were being held, but also the prisoners. And then blame the prisoners for days on end that they were the ones that had killed the guards, and it turned out to be an absolute lie. So please, keep that critical lens to the public. And the other thing is, obviously we don't have the same capacity as the mass media and the mass corporate world. But this is where we have our strength. It is the mass of the people, once they realize the conditions, are able to reverse the historical trend, just like we did during the age of Vietnam, and we will do it again when it comes to Palestine. Palestine will be free.
Free, free Palestine.
Free, free Palestine.
Free, free, free Palestine.
Free, free, free Palestine.
Free, free, free Palestine.
Free, free, free Palestine.
I want to bring up one of the representatives of Jewish Voice for Peace, who really upset a lot of people in Congress last week. David Holloway, Jewish Voice for Peace.
I promise I'll be brief. As was said, I'm a member of Jewish Voice for Peace, the largest anti-Zionist Jewish organization in the country. And as was said last week, 10,000 people, Jews, anti-Zionists, and their allies, descended on Washington, D.C. and took over the Capitol. And stood bravely as they were arrested, 300 strong arrested and taken to jail. But really, I only have 2 words for you today. Ceasefire now. Ceasefire now.
Ceasefire now.
Ceasefire now.
Ceasefire now.
That's the first and the most important thing. We have to stop the killing. There are children that are alive today that'll be dead tomorrow because of the onslaught of the Israelis. We have to stop the bombing. We need to provide humanitarian aid immediately. Not 20 trucks for 2 million people.
Come on.
We need humanitarian aid that includes food, water, fuel, and medical supplies. That is our imperative. That is our first imperative, is to protect and save the people of Gaza from the genocide that's currently taking place. We can talk about a lot of things other than that, but that is our priority. Save the people of Gaza. Ceasefire now.
Ceasefire now.
So we're here to talk about Congressman Richie Torres. And we call on him to sign the letter asking for a ceasefire. What Richie Torres doesn't understand is that every life is precious. Every life is equal. I don't care if it's an American life, a Ukrainian life, an Israeli life, or a Palestinian life. Life is precious, and Richie Torres is ignoring that.
That's for sure.
And he's not alone. There are 370 or more members of Congress that are doing the same thing. They refuse to call for a ceasefire. So why? Why do these politicians do that? Across the country, people know that this is genocide. People understand that what Israel is doing is ethnic cleansing. They understand that what Israel is doing is against the international law. Why do they do it? Well, number one, political expediency. Because they know that they are getting their money to get reelected because they stand with the warmongers and they stand with Israel. But it also should be said that they are also racist because they do not consider Palestinian lives to be the same as anybody else's lives. Richie Torres and the others are cowardly. Their behavior is unacceptable.
Right.
And we will stand up and fight to make sure that Richie Torres is gone from the Congress next year. As anti-Zionists, we reject the Zionist project, whose stated purpose for over 100 years is to expel Palestinians from their land by any means necessary or any means possible without regard for international law. Their purpose, the Zionist purpose, is to create an ethno-state in the land of Palestine that excludes anybody that's not Jewish. We reject that Palestine is a land with no people for a people with no land.
That's a lie.
We reject that Palestinians and Jews cannot live together in peace.
Right.
We demand an end to settler violence in the West Bank and Jerusalem. We demand an end to apartheid and occupation. We say Judaism yes, Zionism no. So Congressman Torres, sign the letter demanding a ceasefire, or we will send you back to private life on your ass. Ceasefire now!
Ceasefire now!
Ceasefire now!
Ceasefire now!
Bless you all.
I just had a beautiful chant based off what you just said. Judaism, yes.
Judaism, yes.
Zionism, no.
Zionism, no.
The apartheid regime has got to go. Judaism, yes.
Judaism, yes.
Zionism, no.
Zionism, no.
The apartheid regime has got to go.
Has got to go.
Judaism, yes.
Judaism, yes.
Zionism, no.
Zionism, no.
The apartheid regime.
The apartheid regime
has got to go.
has got to go.
Thank you, everybody.
I know it's getting late. We have one more speaker speaking for the Al-Ada Right to Return Coalition. And by the way, the Right to Return movement non-violently marched by the tens of thousands to return to their home in Palestine, and the Israeli IDF gunned them down by the hundreds. This is my friend and comrade Bill Doris speaking for Al-Ada.
Thank you. On behalf of Al-Ada New York, the Palestine Right to Return Coalition, in the past 2 weeks, I've been on protest marches all over this city. And today was the first one where there was not one heckler, one not hostile remark. Because the people of the Bronx know they face the same issue as the people of Palestine. The issues in Palestine and in the Bronx are the same. Everybody has the right to a home. Everybody has a right to go to the hospital. Everybody has a right to a school, to clean water. Everybody has a right to live. Children have a right to live. Richie Torres does not believe that. Hardly nobody in Congress believes that. Joe Biden, Governor Hochul, and Eric Adams don't believe that. Because they would rather spend billions to bomb homes and bomb hospitals and bomb schools in Palestine than to build housing and provide health care and build schools in the Bronx or Appalachia or the native reservations or the South, the Black Belt South. They are stealing from the people of the Bronx to wage war. They would get any excuse not to give money to help the poor and working class here, to take our money for war. They want to give $14 billion more to the racist apartheid state of Israel.
No.
That's
$14 billion worth of high explosives, $14 billion worth of napalm, $14 billion worth of white phosphorus, $14 billion worth of warplanes, because Israel does not manufacture any of that stuff. It's all made here and given for free to the racist Zionist state. Richie Torres, who's not here, he's over in Riverdale. He's where the money is. He's where his donors are, not where his constituents are. Voted to steal $14 billion from the people of the Bronx, from the people of the working class of this country. But ultimately, that money comes back here. It does come back here to Wall Street, to the bankers, to General Dynamics, to Raytheon. Every time a bomb falls on a hospital or a school in Gaza, their stocks go up. And now they're sending two $12 billion aircraft carriers. I'm sorry to say I helped build one of them. Over there, they're sending troops over there. It's all an excuse to murder and rob from the poor, be they in Palestine, be they here. So our struggle is here. The head of the snake, the tail of the snake is in Palestine. The head of the snake is here on Wall Street, in the Pentagon. And by the way, when I talk about the bankers, most of them aren't Jewish. Most of them call themselves Anglo-Saxon Christians, something like that. But it's all about the money. And we have a job to do. We need to wage the fight here to stop the arms to Israel, stop the endless flow of money and bombs for mass murder and genocide. We need money for schools and hospitals and housing, not for war against the people of Palestine. Tomorrow there'll be a walkout at campuses around the city. And in a week and a half, on Saturday, November 4th, we're going to Washington. It's around Congress. Please go online to Facebook or wherever, to Instagram, X, to alaudanyyork.org, the Palestine Right to Return Coalition, al-awdany.org. And we'll see you again and again in the streets, because it's one struggle, one fight. One fight. All the people must unite.
All the people must unite.
Not another nickel, not another dime. No more money for Israel's crime.
So we're going to end by bringing up David Galarza, who's a Boricua union activist, and he will be reading some of the names of the martyrs in Gaza. So this is how we will end.
Thank you. Give it up for yourselves for coming out today. So my name is David. I'm from the People's Republic of Brooklyn via Puerto Rico. And it's an honor for me to be with you all today. You know, when we say Puerto Rico, from Puerto Rico to Palestine, occupation is a crime. We mean it. Puerto Rico right now, we've been occupied by the United States for over 100 years, occupied by Spain for 400 years before that. We've been bombed too. Have anybody heard about Vieques? Yeah, Vieques. Vieques is bombed for 70 years. And guess what? The people rose up and got those motherfuckers out of Vieques. Right? So we know we can do this. We know we can do this. And our liberation is inextricably tied to Palestine. Because until Palestine is free, none of us are free. Palestine is free?
None of us are free.
Until Palestine is free?
None of us are free.
So I see this number over here. This number is, I'm sure much higher already.
Yes.
5,791. It is not a number. These are people.
Yes.
5,791. These are beautiful kids that are part of that number. And it's not a number, they're human beings. They're people's kids, they're people's grandkids, they're people's brothers and sisters. They're people that died, that were killed, that were massacred with our money. And we say no!
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 Not another nickel! Not another dime!
Not another dime!
No more money!
No more
Israel's crime. And so when I see that number, I also recall the number that was used after this government allowed almost 5,000 Boricuas to die after Hurricane Maria. That they didn't have to die either. But because we're a colony of this United States, they let 5,000 Boricuas die too. It wasn't the hurricane, it was the colony. It wasn't the hurricane, it was the colony. And that's how come we all gotta stand here. Boricuas, Palestinians, African Americans, queer folks, everybody's gotta be here fighting for justice. And so I wanna make sure that people can see these faces and say their names. Say their names. Because they mattered. They mattered. Besan Helasa, 19 years old. She was a medical student. She was killed at her home alongside with her mother, older sister Mara, and brother Omar. She said on her social media before she died, I have dreams that I have not yet achieved. I have a life I have not yet fully lived. I have a family that I love and fear for. That's what she wrote. Me and my people are subjugated, persecuted, killed, and tortured in an open-air prison. Say her name! Besan Halasa, say her name! Say her name, Belan Halasa! Al-Shaima Saidam. Saidam was killed with members of her family when missiles hit the Al-Nusayrat refugee camp in Gaza Strip. In July, she celebrated being Palestine's top high school schooler. After she earned a 99.6 average in Palestine's general secondary education examination. She was a scholar. She could have been the president of Palestine.
She is a scholar, yes.
Al-Shaim Saddam, say it. Al-Shaim Saddam, say it. Al-Shaim Saddam.
Yes, she is 99.
Yusuf Maher Dawaz. Dawaz was a young poet. I think somebody mentioned a poet earlier. He was a poet and writer. He died alongside members of his family in the northern town of Beit Lahi on Saturday, the 14th of October. We are not numbers, a collective that he belonged to, announced his death on Twitter. Yusuf Maher Dawaz. Yusuf Maher Dawaz. Yusuf Maher Dawaz.
Yes. Oh my God.
Viola and Yara, they were members of the Amash family. The young women were killed at St. Porphyrius Greek Orthodox Church in Gaza City, which was hit by a missile while hundreds of people were crowded into the compound seeking shelter. A Republican U.S. Congress member by the name of Justin Amash wrote on his Twitter that several of his own relatives were among the 16 killed at the church.
Yes.
Say their names, Viola and Yara.
Viola and Yara.
Viola and Yara.
Viola and Yara.
And the Amash family.
Family. Yes.
Heba Sakut, the 39-year-old visual artist and school teacher, was killed alongside her two small sons, Adam and Mahmoud, during the missile strike on October 13th. She was the sole breadwinner of her family and is survived by her husband and two children. In her artwork, she explored daily Palestinian life and heritage. Heba Sakut!
Heba Sakut!
Heba Sakut!
Heba Sakut!
Ijad Abdel Aziz Asker.
Oh,
This 5-year-old boy was killed at the Jabalia refugee camp in northern Gaza. This 5-year-old boy was murdered by the Israeli Defense Forces at Jabalia refugee camp in northern Gaza. Iyad Abdel Aziz Asker. Iyad Abdel Aziz Asker. Iyad Abdel Aziz Asker. Dr. Midad Saidam, a plastic surgeon, was killed with 30 members of his family at about 1 o'clock in the morning on October 14th. After finishing work at the Shifa hospital, he and his sister joined relatives at a house where the extended family was sheltering. Dr. Midad Saidam. Midad?
Saidam.
Midad?
Saidam. Midad Saidam. Oh my God, a lot of people.
I got 3 more names. There's so many.
So many.
And they all had stories, and they all had lives.
So many.
Salam Mema, a freelance journalist was recovered from the rubble 3 days after her home in Jabalia camp in northern Gaza was hit on October 10th. Mema was the head of the Female Photojournalist Committee of the Palestinian Assembly, an organization committed to advancing media work for Palestinian journalists. Salam Mema, say her name. Salam Mema.
Salam Mema.
Another 5-year-old.
Oh my God, even if
Luna Hossam Abu Nada. This 5-year-old girl was killed at the Al-Shati refugee camp in Gaza. Luna Hassam Abu Nada. Say her name. Luna Hassam Abu Nada. Luna
Hassam Abu Nada. Luna Hassam
Abu
Abu Nada.
And then we have the Shamalaka family. 10 members of the family. 10 members of the Shamalaka family were killed when their home in Sheikh Ejin in southwest Gaza was hit on October 8th. An airstrike hit my uncle's house, he said, with his whole family inside. My uncle, his wife, his 5 sons, his daughter-in-law, and his 2 grandchildren. Wafa Shamalaka, an Arabic interpreter who works for Kingston Council, told Sky News the youngest, Omar, was just 2 months old. Say their name. Shamalaka family. Say their name.
Shamalaka family. Shamalaka family.
And just one more. Dr. Mohammed Dabur. Dabur was the chief pathologist at the Islamic University of Gaza and at Al-Shifa Hospital. His family and friends reported that he was killed with his son and father by a missile while fleeing Gaza City on October 13th. Dabur researched the impact of conflict and siege on cancer management. Say his name, Mohammed Dabur.
Mohammed Dabur.
Mohammed Dabur.
Mohammed Dabur.
Mohammed Dabur. And may all the martyrs live forever in all your hearts, and may they fucking haunt Richie Torres and all these murderous, spineless politicians for the rest of their lives. Free, free, free Palestine!
Free, free, free Palestine!
Free, free, free Palestine!
Free, free, free Palestine!
Viva, viva Palestina!
Viva, viva Palestina!
Viva, viva Palestina!
Viva, viva Palestina!
Gracias.
El pueblo unido jamás será vencido. El pueblo unido jamás será vencido. El pueblo unido jamás será vencido. El pueblo unido jamás será vencido.
El pueblo unido jamás será vencido.
All right, folks. So that's going to officially conclude today's demonstration. Please give yourselves a round of applause.
What did Richie Torres say about this?
So Richie Torres, before we even protested today, went on Twitter, because he's a Twitter keyboard warrior, and said that we were going to be violent and that we were threatening his life and that we were threatening his staff life. Did we do that today?
He's threatening Palestinian lives.
But he's the one killing Palestinian lives. So you know what we do want to say to Richie Torres? Fuck you, Richie Torres! Fuck you, Richie Torres!
Fuck you, Richie Torres!
And fuck you, Israel!
Fuck you, Israel!
Fuck you, Israel!
Fuck you, Israel!
Fuck you, Richie Torres!
Fuck you, Richie Torres!
Fuck you, Richie Torres, puppet!
Fuck you, Richie Torres, puppet! Gusano!
Cucaracha! Please follow BX Anti-War on Instagram. Go to BronxAntiWar.org and sign up for the newsletter, because we're just getting started. We're just getting started. And we want y'all to come out to the next demonstration, and I want you to bring a friend, because next time we gotta be twice as big. Can we do that?
You gotta come out when they try to attack China.
So please get home safe. Don't leave alone. Leave with a friend or a partner, and we will see you at the next demonstration. Peace and love. Peace and love.